So this is class AB amplifier. In the class AB amplifier, the change you can make out from the class C. We are trying to add this VBB by 2 and VBB by 2 here. And the reason why we do this is to eliminate the crossover distortion. So the crossover distortion can be eliminated by biasing the complementary output transistors at a small non-zero current. So by providing some biasing voltage and correspondingly the current, we'll be able to, get, literally no crossover distortion, or the dead band is removed. So when Vi is equal to 0, then at that time we will have V naught is equal to 0. When Vi is positive, output will be also positive, and Vi is negative, output also will be negative. That we are trying to provide by means of having this, so to say, biasing voltages VBB by 2 and VBB by 2 on both the sides. So at that time, when Vi is equal to 0 and V naught is equal to 0, In and Ip, there will be some current here flowing because there is a biasing current. In and Ip will be equal to Iq. They will be same because they are both provided by the same voltage VBB by 2 here, between VBB by 2 like this and VBB by 2 like this. So both will be biased positively, and hence In will be equal to Ip is equal to Iq is equal to Is e to the power VBB by 2 Vt. So 2 Vt, Vt is the voltage thermal equivalent, which is the value, which is 25 millivolts. Standard value is 25 millivolts for Vt. So this is the formula for what is known as the quiescent current. Quiescent current is when input is 0. When input is 0, we have a quiescent current which is flowing in the what you call transistors, and that value will be equal to Is e to the power of VBB by 2 Vt. So when Vi goes positive, the output becomes positive at almost equal value. Okay. So we generally write this, Vi is here, then you have VBB by 2, and you have here VBEN, and that together will give us V naught. So V naught is equal to Vi plus VBB by 2 minus VBEN minus VBN will be the value V naught. In the same way, you can write for the other one also. That is V naught is equal to this plus this minus this is equal to V naught in the other half of the cycle. So when it is positive, this is the equation. When it is negative, again, you will have only that VBP we will have from the output in place of VBN. So since the VBB voltage remains constant, the V naught causes the a current IL. So whatever V naught appears here, this causes a current IL to flow through the RL. Okay, and that is there you can see that when we are providing positive here, IN will increase, but IP will not increase. IN will increase, but IP will not increase. IP will be only due to VBB by 2, but however, if this becomes positive, then there is a chance that IP will go down also. However, IN is equal to IP plus IL. So IN will be equal to whatever IP flows here plus IL. So you can see that this is the node here, current entering is equal to sum of the currents leaving. IN is equal to IP plus IL. So when we have this voltage increasing, IN might increase, IN will increase, and IP might decrease. Overall, IL will increase. Since VBB voltage remains constant, the increase in VBN will result in an equal decrease in VEBP and in IP. So when IN increases, then naturally the IP is going to decrease. The relationship between IN and IP is, you can always write like this: VBN plus VEBP is equal to VBP, and VBN can be written as this is the voltage across the base diameter junction of the N type of transistor, and that is given by Vn logarithm of IN by IS, where IS is the reverse saturation current. Similarly, for the what we call QP, we'll have VT logarithm of natural logarithm of IP divided by IS, that is equal to VBB is written like this, 2VT ln IQ by IS. So if you again solve this, then we will get, the logarithm of A plus logarithm of B will be logarithm of AB. Therefore, we will get this as, IN into IP divided by IS into IS. That will be equal to 2 VP ln this thing. And this can further be solved, and we will get it as, uh, 2 will come out, 2 VT ln IN IP divided by IS. Okay. So therefore, 2VT, 2VT cancels, and what is left is, in place of, IQ here, rather IQ square here, we will be left with the value of the IN, what you call IQ. So you can just take this here. So then this will become IQ square by IA square. And then if you multiply, if you, add this up, then it will become IN IP by IS square. So denominators are same, IN IS. Numerators will be IN IP. And here numerator will be IQ square. So therefore, we'll have IN IP equal to IQ square. So now, if you try to multiply this with the value of IN, you'll get IN square equal to IPIN plus IN IL. So IN, if you throw out, multiply this by IN, I'll get IN square equal to IN IP plus IN IL. So IN IP, I know it is equal to IQ square. So I can write here, IN square is equal to IQ square plus IL IN, and I can take both these on that side, then I'll get this equation, IN square minus IL IN minus IQ square. So this is a quadratic equation which needs to be solved if we know the value of IL and IQ. Given the value of IL and IQ, you can find the value of IN. So IL can be found as V naught by RL. IL is nothing but V naught by RL. IQ is known to us. IQ we have already written here. IS e to the power of VBB by 2 VT. And once we know both this, we can find the value of IN from this quadratic equation. So the transfer characteristic of a class AB stage will look something like this. So you can see that we have, don't have this dead band, and therefore there won't be any crossover distortion. So for small Vi, both transistors conduct, and as Vi is increased or decreased, one of the two transistors takes over the operation, and the crossover distortion is totally eliminated. So you can see that we have the slope which is 1 till the saturation voltages. Here it saturates, here it saturates, but till then, between the minus of VCC till the value of minus VCC minus VCE sat till plus VCC minus VCE sat, the slope will be equal to 1. The slope will be equal to 1, and there won't be any, dead band, and definitely no crossover distortion corresponding. So we can write the equation for the output resistance now. The output resistance is the R out here, and that will just correspond to the output resistance of this in parallel with the output resistance of this. So that's why we written here REN parallel with REP. And REN is VT by IN, and REP is VT by IP. So if you take the parallel combination of this, it will become VT by IP plus IN. So this is the standard formula for R out. Okay, R out is VT by IP plus IN. So the output resistance remains approximately constant in the region around Vi equal to 0. At larger load currents. When the load current becomes larger, load current will be appearing, uh, you know, here across the load, which is RL. And as the load current increases, the ROut decreases as the load current increases. So generally we see that when the load current increases, so there's a chance that this whole thing will increase. So ROut is going to decrease at that time. So let us take a problem here, numerical over here. So design the quiescent current of the class AB BJT output stage so that the incremental voltage gain for VI in the vicinity of the origin is in excess of 0.99 volts for loads larger than 100 ohms. Assume that the BJT have VBE of 0.7 volts and at a current of 100 milliamperes. Determine the value of VBB required. So AV, the voltage gain at the output stage is generally given by, if we consider R naught here, generally we will consider R naught here, we have seen in the last class also, right? And so then the AV will be just, RL, that is the voltage across the output here, divided by RL plus Rout. RL plus, because this value will be same as this, and AV will be equal to, if we have some R out here, then it will be RL divided by the sum of both these resistors. V naught is the voltage across RL only. The voltage here is the voltage across RL here and R out, RL, what you call R out here and RL here. So that's why we'll get this formula. And we can rearrange this to get the value of R out. R out will be equal to 1 by AV minus 1 into RL. And AV is given as, it should be more than 0.99. So at least it should be 0.99. If you substitute 0.99 here, and RL equal to 100. So you will get 1 by 0.99 minus 1 will be approximately equal to 0.01 into the value of RL, which is 100, will give us the value which is 1 ohm. R out will be RE by 2. RE is nothing but VT by 2 IQ. VT by 2 IQ. So this R out is basically again taken out from the formula, which is this here, VT by IP plus IN. And under the quiescent conditions, when VI is equal to 0, then at that time V0 will be 0 and IP will be equal to IN. And therefore, then only we can try to write this as VT by 2 IQ. Okay, so IN will be equal to IP will be equal to IQ, and that's why this quantity will be VT by 2 IQ. This is only under the quiescent condition. So the needed IQ to get R out will of less than 1 ohm. So if you want less than 1 ohm, the value of IQ will be IQ. You can take this side, R out take this side. So IQ will be VT by 2 R out. So if R out is 12, R out is 1, less than 1 ohm, then VT, which is 25 millivolts divided by the R out value, which is 1 ohm, is going to give this 2 also is that. So 25 millivolts divided by 2 into 1 ohm, that will give us 12.5 milliamperes. So VT you need to substitute as the volt thermal equivalent, which is 25 millivolts, and IQ is the one which is to be calculated. R out is given as less than 1 ohm, so you can take 1 ohm itself and get the value which is 12.5 milliamperes. The value of VBB will be 2 VBE, so therefore VBB is equal to, you will generally get 2 VBE plus the formula over here. 2 into VBE value is 0.7 plus VN ln 12.5 by 100. So the minimum value of VBE plus VT ln 12.5 by 100. This value is nothing but IQ, and this value will be the value of the what we call I itself, which we might have written as 100 milliamperes. Okay, IL itself, which is 100 milliamperes. This is IQ by the value of IL. So thus, we will get the value as 1.296 as the value of VBB. So that is what we are asked to determine the value of VBB, and we are able to determine. So this is the formula to be remembered. This is the VB minimum value plus VT ln IQ by IL. So let us take another example here. So in this example, what we are trying to do is, we are taking VCC equal to 15 volts, IQ equal to 2 milliamperes, RL equal to 100. Assume that QN and QP are matched and have IS equal to 10 to the power of minus 13. Determine the required value of the bias voltage VBB and then find the transfer voltage. So VBB is equal to 2VT ln IQ by IS. This is the standard formula. 2VT ln IQ by IS, and that value will be 2 into VT value is 0.025 ln 2 into 10 to the power of minus 3 divided by 10 to the minus 13. That will give us 1.186 volts. So the easiest way to determine, so what does he want? He wants us to determine the value of bias voltage VB and then find the transfer characteristic for V0 in the range of minus 10 and plus 10. So when V0 is minus 10 to plus 10, whatever the value of Vi also. So it will be approximately the same, but the exact value we can find out by taking the reverse method, that is work backward. First, we'll choose a value of V0. Say we'll choose the value of minus 10. Assume a value of V0, say minus 10. Then find the load current. IL is equal to minus 10 by the RL value given. RL value is given as 100 ohms. Then corresponding to that, determine so IL is known. IQ is also given here. So IN can be found from this formula, IN square minus IL, IN minus IQ square. So IL is calculated, and so for minus 10 volts, IL will be some value, and that should be substituted here. And IQ is 2 milliampere square. So this becomes a quadratic equation which can be solved, where we'll get the value of IN. So having got the value of IN, then we can calculate the VBN is equal to VT ln IN by IS. So IN is found from here, and IN is substituted here, and we can find the value of VT ln IN by IS. That will become VBN. Having determined the value of VBN, then we'll get VI as V0 plus VBN minus VBB by 2. So VBN we have calculated. VBB we have calculated here 1.186, and substitute over here. V0 we have taken minus 10. So substitute all that, you'll get the value of Vi. So for the value of minus 10 V0, the value of Yi can be calculated. Then IP will be IP plus IN is equal to IP plus IL is equal to IN. So that therefore IP is equal to IN minus IL. You can write, right? IN is equal to IP plus IL. So IP is equal to IN minus IL, and definitely you can write similarly for the other, P-type transistor. VEBP is equal to VT ln IP by IS. So for different values of V0, you can try to follow the set of steps which we have used, and this might be the total thing which we might get, right? So in the exam, they might ask you all the things. Might be there, they might ask you for plus 10 volts and minus 10 volts. Find the value of the output V0 by Vi. So we have got that value of V0 by Vi as 0.99 here, and again 0.99 here because of the symmetry. Also, this is a small signal value. Please remember that this V0 by Vi is the large signal value. This V0 by Vi is the small signal value. So V0 by Vi is RL by RL plus Rout, and Rout can be found by the VT by IP plus IN. Okay, VT by IP plus IN. So using all this, we can try to find out the expressions for the V naught by Vi, finding out the RL or ROUT. RL is given, ROUT can be found for different values of V capital naught, and we can try to find the what you call small signal gain. So that's you can find for all the different values. Let us take another example. To increase the linearity of the linearity, we use the class AB output stage with a quiescent current of IQ increased. The price paid is the increase in the quiescent power dissipation. For the output stage, again considering this problem itself, find the quiescent power dissipation. We need to find the quiescent power dissipation. If IQ is increased to 10 milliamperes, so the value of IQ is in the earlier problem given as 2 milliamperes. VCC is this, RL is this, same values to be considered in the next problem also. So if it is increased to 10 milliamps, find the small signal gain V naught by Vi at V capital 0 equal to 0 and at the mod of V naught equal to 10. So when this is equal to 0 and this is equal to 10, two different values, we need to find the value of V naught by Vi. We need to find the value of V naught by Vi, and hence the percentage change compared to the case in the earlier figure. So earlier we had for IQ equal to 2 milliamperes, now we have IQ for 10 milliamperes. Find the quiescent power dissipation in the case B. So first case A for quiescent power dissipation, then second the C is quiescent power dissipation in the case B. So here we will get the quiescent power is equal to 2 into IQ into VCC. IQ is given to us 2 milliampere, VCC is given 15. 2 into 2 into 15 will give me 60 millivolts, 60 millivolts. So this IQ is 2 milliampere. So we will get the wattage, which will be 60 milliwatts. So this is milliampere, this is voltage. This is 15 volts, this is 2 milliampere. So therefore we'll get 60 milliwatts. So having found that, then we can find the IL for V naught by RL. So first value of V naught is 0. Second value of V naught is, you can just put a table for V naught equal to 0. You can find 0 by RL will be equal to IL 0. IL is equal to 0 means this will be 0. IN will be equal to IQ itself. When IN is equal to what you call IQ, you can find the value of IP. IP will be, again, we know that it will be IL itself, what you call IN will be IQ minus the value of the IL found, and IL is nothing but 0 because we have taken V naught equal to 0. So IP and IN both will be same. At that time, we can find the ROUT. ROUT will be VT divided by IP plus IN, both are same. So you can find ROUT. ROUT, here you can substitute and determine the value of V naught by Vi. So we can follow these steps and get the value of the small signal gain V naught by Vi. After that, we, for the second case, V naught equal to the 10 volts, mod 10, you can find the value of IL. So substitute that value of IL and then find from this quadratic equation the value of IM. Having found the value of IN minus the value of IL got over here, you can get IP. And having done that, we'll get VT divided by IP plus IN. IP is calculated here, IN is calculated here, and you substitute and get the value of ROUT. Once ROUT is found, V naught by Vi is equal to RL divided by RL plus ROUT will be the value of the small signal gain. So thus, for different values of V naught, you can find it, but for us, he has given only V naught equal to 0 and mod V naught equal to the 10 volts. So then, having found that the dissipation is 2 into IQ into VCC, and that value turns out to be, now it is 10 milliamperes, 2 into 10 milliamperes into the value of VCC equal to 15, and that will give us 300 milliwatts. So that is given over here. So I have not told you the values for this. You need to find out, and percentage change is, this minus this divided by 1, and that will just give you 1.2% multiplied by 100. That will be 1.2%. In the earlier case, we might have had 6% change, because at that time we had 0.94, and 1 minus 0.94 divided by 1 into 100 will give you 6% over here. Whereas here, 1 minus 0.988 divided by 1 multiplied by 100 will give you 1.2%. So for that, we need to use all these formulas and try to find out. So that is the end of the lecture, this lecture.